All right, guys, welcome back. So today, I think I'm going to start on this page for most of my videos for the updates. So last night I did play my 10 games on Carabast with Boba ECL, that list that I showed you. I'll bring that up in just a minute. So it's just going to be impossible for me to upload a video, a new one, every single day. I'm going to weekly play at a store tomorrow night and then the next night. So that'll I just won't have time in the evening to take care of it all. But what I'll do is I'll kind of record what I've been up to, who I've been playing, what decks and stuff like that. And then I'll kind of condense it into a video. Maybe on Sunday, if I have time on Sunday, I'll make that happen. But I do have a gameplay video coming out on Friday, so there'll be no lull in our regular 5-day schedule. So the 10 games. This was the deck. This is exactly what I showed you guys. Didn't change anything in it at this point. I just wanted to kind of see how it would perform, and I think it did all right. So it ended up going 8-2. So I don't really remember exactly what bases everyone was on. The CAD, the 2 Jabbas, and the Chewy, I can't remember. Vader was on green. He was ECL green, actually. Kira was on ECL green. Leia was on Spice Mines, so a 30 HP base for her. Director Krennic was actually on Security Complex, and he whooped me. I just could not get any traction in that game. And then Ray was on a 30 HP red base, as per what we would expect. So this deck actually performed quite well. It was lacking in a few, the ramp, so maybe the resupply on the side there would have been better to play even over the Super Laser Technician. I found that I was getting my Super Laser Technician's traders. People were playing traders on it, so I was losing it. The Lurking TIE Phantoms actually came in pretty clutch on a number of those games. So it was interesting to see how well they actually performed. The Boba Fett unit did not perform as well as I had hoped, and he hasn't since I've put him in this deck originally. That's why I'm down to running a 2 of. The Cloud Riders actually performed amazing. They came in clutch on a number of different plays. Crafty Smuggler, great card, shield it, love it. No Good to Me Dead, saved me in a couple of games. I was no good to me deading their leaders or some larger units. The Cartel Spacer, not a huge fan of that card. It's too situational. It just never pops off when I need it to. So it's just kind of a 2-cost, 2/3 that is not all that amazing. Greedo, we all know he's awesome, but when you're playing against, Cad Bane, he's just going to play an Underworld unit and then ping you for the damage. So anything like Forlom, awesome. Zuck is awesome. Fett's Fire Spray, awesome. Love running Maul. Overwhelming Barrage, we all know it's just an absolute killer card. Gamorrean Guards, they actually came in pretty clutch on a number of occasions as well. Waylay, not so much, but it's just one of those situational ones where you just sometimes need it. And the 7th Fleet Defender were actually quite good. They, anytime they're coming out shielded, it's pretty awesome. So that was my win-loss ratio, 8 wins, 2 losses. I thought that was pretty good. The Kira one was actually really, really close, so it was I was sweating a little bit. The Ray Red, I just demolished her. And a lot of this, I don't know who I'm playing, so they might not be, top quality players, but I do know there's some really top quality players on there. And like the guy that was playing the Director Krennic just played a really, really good game. It was back and forth, but once he got control of the board, it was just nothing. He just stabilized, and then my deck just stalled completely. So where am I going with this deck? So I've made some changes. I'm not going to test this out right away. I might throw a couple games here and there, but this is kind of where I've moved to. So what have we changed? We have added the Bazin Natal. I feel like if I could strip out some of those bigger cards from their hand, it would be pretty clutch. When people start throwing down, Super Laser Blast and Avenger and Snoke and stuff like that, it's just hard to deal with those, right? So brought 3 of her in. I have also brought in the that neutral spaceship there. I can't even remember what it's called, and I can't see it. It's too small on my screen. So I'm just going to, you know what I'm talking about. It's right beside resupply. I'm going to bring that in. I know it has, you can pay for and steal it, but then I can steal it back if necessary. So, and it's only 3 damage. So hopefully it gets out there for 2 cost and it does what it needs to do. The lurking, still a 2 of. It might be a 3 of, but we're just going to leave it at 2 of. I'm bringing in frozen in carbonite. I just think that that might help out a bit. And I think that's it. That's all we've changed. Now you can see the sideboard. I've actually added quite a few cards into the sideboard. And some of the cards that were in the main deck have now gone into the sideboard. So, and then a lot of them in there are just one-ofs. And that's just so that I remember what cards that I might want to try in the future. So stuff like Change of Heart might be really, really good. The Gladiator Star Destroyer. I know it's not amazing, but being able to play that and then give something Sentinel for just one phase, it could be what I need. And I don't know, maybe you run 1 of or maybe 2 of. I don't want to get too wild on the 1 ofs, but there's the possibility. And then I just have a 1 of the phase 3 Dark Trooper there, just because I'm thinking maybe some Sentinel somewhere might be worthwhile. It's funny, like everyone was like, those are going to be so amazing, and they just have not performed. A 3/3 is just kind of not great anymore as far as Sentinel's concerned. So I'll look into some maybe other ones just to see what else I can put in, but that's kind of where I am. Now that pirate skiff or whatever it is there down the left-hand corner, I really should learn all the names of these cards. I'm working on it. It's a Sentinel, and you can smuggle it, so it might be something that is worthwhile, where you just kind of, when it's in your hand, you just throw it down as a resource, just in case later in the game you need something. And then Palp's Return, that's another one that might be something I want to try. I've never used it in a deck, so it's just kind of one of those things that's just a possibility. And then Choose Sides, that's a card that I think a lot of people are sleeping on. In Sealed, during pre-release, I played that in my deck, and it won me games. So when you think about maybe someone throws down a Snoke, you might want to trade something with that. And if you got like some smaller units, that card can literally change the tide of the game. So it's something I want to try out, test a bit, and then kind of see how it performs. And that's it. So I'm going to try this one out. If you like this deck list, you can find it on our Discord. There's a link in our description. What deck am I going to be working on next for my 10 games? It's actually 3 decks. So I'm going to go with Sabine Wren. I'm going to play the red, green, and yellow versions. And I'm going to kind of put in those 10 games with each of those over the next, 3 or 4 days. And then I will report back on, we'll say Sunday. Like, I think that's when I'm going to come back on here and put together another one of these videos. They are super labor intensive to put this sort of stuff with all the slides and making sure everything looks right. And I'm sure maybe it doesn't, but I'm just new at kind of figuring this sort of stuff out. So this is the best I can do. Give me a break. Hit that subscribe button. Anyway, we will see you guys on the next check-in. Again, we're aiming for Sunday, but who knows? It might be the first of next week. If you do kind of want to follow along with stuff, like I said, there is the link to our Discord in the description as well. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, X. I'm all over the place. So you can see me on all of those other places. Probably Instagram would be the spot that I would kind of throw up the more random updates of what I'm up to. I just have been on that platform for quite some time, so I find it pretty easy to use. Anyway, we'll be back with an update soon. And until then, I don't know. Like, what are you supposed to say here? Like, signing out. I'm signing out. That's what I'm doing. I'm out. See ya.